Hey YouTube, welcome back. This is Marco Polo. Today I got a story about a guy, and we're going to call him Ralph. Now, Ralph, has been working in landscaping, and he's been running his own crew, working underneath a corporation or a regional, landscaping business. So Ralph was doing fairly well. He was, making more money than he ever has. About maybe 2 years ago, he told me that, and things were looking good. There was more work than he knew what to do with. He was even working on Saturdays, sometimes Sundays, and pulling in overtime for that. So he was making some good paychecks. He was really getting it. He was living in South Mississippi, so it's a pretty hot place to work, close to the Gulf. And he was doing a lot of work outside, rough, tough work in the sun. Anyways, fast forward 2026, here we are. Ralph still does that type of work. Now, Ralph's wife, together, they pay their bills. They both contribute. Well, she worked remote job. Bam, she was laid off. That was kind of a shocker. And Ralphie, he had to take up the slack for his wife, until she can find something, get back on her feet, to contribute to the household. Anyways, so they went from doing pretty well together to, all right, we're on Ralph's income. Ralph's still doing okay. Don't worry, everything's going to be okay. Well, Ralphie has an aging mother, and she needs help. She doesn't just need financial help. She needs his help to come around and, do the manly things around, because she's a single woman, an elderly lady, widowed, and she, has things that need to be done around the house, like typically what a man would do. So Ralphie's over there, with his mom and taking care of things after he comes home from work and takes care of what he needs to do at home. So he's over there, and he's also helping her financially, because Social Security just ain't enough. Not these days. So all of a sudden, bam, Ralphie gets cut back at work. The hours get cut back. He's working 4 days a week. He's making less than 40 hours a week. So the money that used to be coming in on a weekly basis, monthly basis, is no longer there. So he's freaking out. His wife is not working. He's underemployed all of a sudden. And his mother has needs. So he's in a bind. And, if one thing lead to another, there was another family emergency where somebody ended up in the hospital, and they may not be making it. So, when it rains, it pours out here, folks. It's like dominoes. One thing goes, then the next thing goes, then, that's life, right? Isn't that the way it goes? Especially when you become a middle-aged individual, such as Ralph. I'll probably place him around 40 years old. And he's lived sort of a tough life, and it's not giving him no breaks. Here it is again. Life is, dealing him some cards. So, he put his faith, and he told me this. He looked at the sky. He said, God, why is this happening to me? He put his faith up to God. And he said, all my life, it's just been one thing after the next. Why me? Come on, why me? And then something changed. He got an unexpected phone call not long after that. And it was a new job. And it was with an electric company. And they need landscaping type of work, tree trimming service, to maintain power lines that go through rural areas. So now he's on a traveling job. Now he's got more work than he can deal with. He's got overtime and per diem. And then bam, his wife gets a job. Now, it's not what she used to make, but it is work. And she's working full time. So Ralphie's, just like many of us, the ups and downs of life, you can't let it get you down. And Ralphie stayed stressed for a long time, but now things are looking up again. And he's able to financially, take care of the bills at home. He could take care of all the bills at home. Wife has got extra money. She's helping out, and he can help his mother out. This is one story of 350 million Americans out here, or how many households are living. I don't know the statistic of how many households there are in the United States, but there's many, many, many hundreds of million, I'm sure, of people going through these same situations. Here in the USA and abroad, Australia, same stuff. Europe, England, same stuff. Shout out if you're living in another country and you're watching my videos. I appreciate you. I sure do. Anyways, just keep your faith. Keep your faith. No matter what life throws at you, the punches come. Just keep your faith. You never know what can happen tomorrow. And when everything is looking down, at that very moment, something breaks. And it doesn't break for the bad. The bad breaks and the good can come out. Good things do happen. And I heard this old saying back in the day. They say, God don't give us more than we can handle. Maybe so. But it seems like we're all still living in this world. We're not 6 feet under the dirt yet. So there's always a chance. Even if, you've been abused your whole life, you haven't had any luck ever, and the people around you have just destroyed your life. Guess what? You can rebuild it. You can always rebuild it, and you can eliminate the people who create the problems that are a hazard to your life. And many a times that's family. Many a times that is family. So, keep the toxic people away. Whether they're related to you or not, toxic people got to go, got to step. Well, if you got anything to comment about this in today's day and age, and any personal business, anything you want to throw out there, drop it in the comments. It doesn't even have to be personal. Like the video, subscribe to my channel if you want to hear more content. This is Marco Polo. Y'all have a great afternoon. Talk to you later. Much love.